want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Yeah, we ran out of patience for your love with a cold hard hatred. I can feel the vibration, beat in the streets, it's a new sensation. I wanna break faces on the pavement. I wanna make greatness look complacent. Adrenaline awakened, I can taste it. We can make an impact, grab and then take it. Like a disease, bring me to their knees. No pain for their disease. Just like a weed.
I may be a little bit more zoomed in than usual. It's something that I gotta fix, actually, because I just got myself a new laptop, and we are on StreamYard, actually, right now. It's coming in a hell of a lot better than it was coming in before. I'm very, very happy about that. I'm gonna see what I can do to get the whole camera issue back down to what it was before, but I think people are not here to hear me rant and rave and go on and on about technical shit. I think that people are here because it's Saturday! You know what that means. We're live! Ladies and gentlemen, I am the one and only DJ Storms. And I would like to welcome each and every single one of you back here to the greatest fucking show on earth. We are streaming live, baby. We are live. Let me fix the camera over here just a little bit. Just a little bit. Yeah, that looks a little bit bad. You know what? Fuck this. Hang on a minute. Come on, motherfucker. Okay, I think we're good here. I guess I'm going to have to tilt it even a little bit more to the side to actually see the television. But we're going to figure out what's going on with this new camera. But I got me a new sexy-ass Lenovo laptop. I'm back on StreamYard as well. I am back on StreamYard. We are getting ready to rock and roll. And we got ourselves a shit ton of material to talk about. Let me just go check the audio. Am I coming in okay? Am I coming in okay? Is there any echo backlash? Let me just go check this shit. Hang on one second. Give me one solitary. I gotta make sure. I'm a fucking professional here. Gotta make sure. I'm a fucking professional. What do we got? No, there isn't. Good. There's not. It's okay. Very, very good. But in case y'all don't know who I am, and you don't know some of the names that they call me, well, you know, they call me Mr. Controversy and the operator of the best damn Twitter handle. No. Oh, shit. Do you smell that? Do you know what that is? Oh, I'm going to tell you what that is. That right there is the smell of absolute, pure fucking excellence. Wait for it. Wait for it. To mankind. And yes, this is the official. Don't know why I fucking said it like that, but I'm hyped up. I'm happy. We're running smoothly once again right here. This is the official Lightning Flash update for Saturday, April 22nd, 2023. Just had to take a sip of my ice water right there. I hope y'all are doing very, very well. We got plenty of good material to talk about here, including, let me hook this shit up right here. There we go. We got plenty of good material to talk about, including a main roster call-up for a potential NXT superstar in the draft. We also got word on Roman Reigns and his next title defense being at Night of Champions. Where has Johnny Gargano been? I got news on that. He has not been seen since WrestleMania weekend. AEW is set to debut a new television show called Collision with CM Punk as the main star, and it could very well indicate that a hard brand split could be coming. We're going to talk about that, and we're going to talk about a lot of interesting reports regarding Becky Lynch and Drew McIntyre blacking out their Twitters. Apparently, this has sparked up the conversation. Do I think they're going anywhere? No, I don't. But I wanted to wait. I wanted to get all the necessary information that I needed to get. We have that information, and we're going to dissect in depth everything regarding Becky Lynch and Drew McIntyre, what it could potentially mean for them. Is there going to be cuts towards Becky Lynch and Drew McIntyre? It's quite possibly. Trust me, we have a lot to get into. But shout out to everyone who's watching me right now. Shout out to Blackheart Revolution and Dee Dee. Of course, she is my number one mod. Don't get hot, Dee Dee. Don't get hot, Dee Dee. I see you. Don't worry. Shout out to Dylan as well. And the final Hoss. You guys are fantastic, as per usual. We got plenty. We got Sarah Hapka as well. Thank you very much for stopping by. Hope that I'm coming in clear. Hope that this mic is working just fine. And hopefully we'll be able to get the camera back to what it normally was. I'm going to see if they have any zoom in or zoom out features on this new laptop. I'm not entirely familiar with it. We're going to get that down. But we got plenty of material to get into. Obviously, first things first, please make sure that you follow me on Twitter, which we are live right now on Twitter, both on my Twitter handle and the Hardcore Sports Twitter handle. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at HistoryMakerDJS. One more time, that is at HistoryMakerDJS, both on Twitter and Instagram. You can also add me on Facebook for collaborations and business inquiries. Please send me an email. My email is, of course, StormsTakeOver@gmail.com. Please make sure that you like the official DJ Storms business page. I may just send you an invite to join the official DJ Storms Posse group on Facebook. That is, all of those links are in the description, as well as the link for JV Thunder's drum cover of Highway. JV Thunder's drum cover of Highway. I actually thought that it was probably our best drum cover thus far. Although I did put a poll out on Twitter asking the peeps, hey, what drum cover did you like the best? And apparently a lot of people were saying Shout at the Devil was the best. I actually have to concur because Shout at the Devil, that song is fucking phenomenal. But go check out the drum cover of Highway. That link is in the description. I thought that JV Thunder flawlessly got that rhythm down, flawlessly got that beat down. On top of that, I mean, the dances that I did, I mean, you want a great laugh, you want to see me in action doing the best fucking dances possible. I got the best dance moves in the IWC. No one matches up to me. But you can go check that out. That is in the description. Also, if you want to go and check out my ISPW Rage in the Cage weekend, I was recently at an ISPW event over in West Milford, New Jersey, and they put on a fantastic show, highlighted by what was easily one of the best steel cage matches that I've seen live. It was Crowbar and Rick Recon in the main event. Those two went at it for nearly 30 minutes. Absolutely fucking awesome. Awesome stuff. So go and check that out. if you missed it. Obviously, if you're coming on in, please make sure that you like the stream no matter where you're watching it from. We're back streaming live on Facebook as well. We had a little issue with Melon, and hopefully that we won't have to go back to, because now we got StreamYard back up and running. It was my laptop. I'm glad I got the new laptop. So that is being taken care of. Please make sure you like the stream, whether it's on Facebook or Twitter or Twitch or YouTube, wherever you may be watching it from. Please, please, please make sure that you like the stream no matter where you're watching it from. And of course, share the stream out on all platforms of social media, including Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, Tumblr. Share it out. It's incredibly vital that we get as many people in here as possible. I'm still having a little bit of OCD right here. Let me try that. Yeah, we go. That looks a little bit better. I want to make sure that we don't have too much space up here. But I hope you guys are having a wonderful weekend as well. Obviously, like the stream, share it out on all platforms, social media, including Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, Tumblr, Snapchat, TikTok. Again, whatever social media platforms that you may be using, we want to get as many people in here as possible, because everybody needs a little dose of DJ Storms in their life. Shout out to Peanuts, by the way, who also just joined. Of course, please make sure, if you are watching on YouTube, whether it be my YouTube channel or the Hardcore Sports YouTube channel, you like the stream. Like the stream. It is incredibly vital that you do so. That way, a lot of people will come on in, and it will help me out. It will help the Hardcore Sports brand out. Hardcore Sports, let me tell you something. We're looking to be the #1 brand in all of sports analytics. So go check out all the Hardcore Sports social media links, including at Hardcore Sports _ on Twitter, including at Hardcore Sports Network, both on YouTube and Instagram, and at Hardcore Sports 1 on Twitch, which we are live on right now. Go and check all those social media links out. And of course, whether it be on my channel or the Hardcore Sports channel, once you hit the subscribe button, you got to hit the notifications bell with a huge coup de grace. That way you will know whenever I pop up on YouTube. Because whenever I pop up on YouTube, oh, baby, it is the best time to be on YouTube. You know why? Because it's the only time that you won't get to see this glorious sideburn chin strap combination. Beautiful mustache right here. I actually got a haircut today. So you know what? We're going to break out this magically crafted ace comb. Look at that shit. And we're going to let it up right here on the stream with a little and a dash of and a whole lot of because like popcorn chicken right out of the oven, just like eggs and bacon quiche, I am just so good. I am just so damn good. Of course, we have a lot of shit going on next month as well. Raphael, I believe his name is, what's his name? Raphael what? I can never pronounce this guy's last fucking name. Where is he? He was just here. Raphael, Chakin? Raphael Kachin, I believe his name is. Raphael Kachin, he is going to be a guest of mine on the Rundown for Backlash, which I have set for May the 4th, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Raphael has been a great supporter, so I'm looking to have him on the channel as well. Of course, on May 6th, if you're in the New Jersey area, I don't know what you're doing on Saturday, May 6th, but I think that you guys should be in Morristown, New Jersey at 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. because we got 80s WrestleCon. There's going to be a lot of great people over there, and we got a show at 5:30. We got some signings. We got Fandango. We got Val Venus. We got Eugene. We got Davey Boy Smith Jr. We got Bret Hart, the Powers of Pain, the Headbangers. They're all going to be there. Brian Kendrick's going to be there. He's actually competing on the show. Brian Kendrick, he's taking on none other than GKM for the Tri-State Championship. There's going to be a lot of great stuff going down at 80s WrestleCon. I'm going to be there. I'm planning on setting up a table. I'm planning on selling some t-shirts, maybe doing a live stream. I may very well do this live stream right now, doing LFU live from 80s WrestleCon. That would be fucking something. So I may put that down on tap for Saturday. I'm probably not going to be watching Backlash live because I will be at 80s WrestleCon. But But I will be doing a rewind for it, hopefully on May 7th, which is a Sunday. And then, of course, we got 3 pay-per-views at the end of May. We got Night of Champions, we got NXT Battleground, and we got Double or Nothing. It is really going to be a rough fucking week for sure. It is going to be fucking packed beyond fucking belief. So trust me on that. It is definitely going to be something to behold because I'm going to be streaming like fucking crazy. I actually got to get my schedule all sorted out, make sure I got everything down to a T before I get shit rocking and rolling. But I'm glad that you guys are here. I'm glad that we're going to have some fun. Shout out to Earl Cole, by the way, who just joined. We got a lot of news, rumors, and reports to get into. We're not going to waste any more time. Let's get straight into it. We got a report from the WRKD Wrestling Twitter account. Now, that account has actually been pretty credible as of lately. I don't usually get my news from any particular Twitter account. I'd rather specifically go to the main sources, you know, like PW Insider and fucking Dave Meltzer and Ringside News and Jonathan Ross Sapp, even though the guy's a fucking pussy, he is credible. But apparently, this Twitter account has actually been very, very credible as of lately. And apparently, he or she, I don't know specifically who's behind this Twitter account. He or she posted a tweet on Tuesday regarding a new call-up from NXT that we could very well expect in the WWE draft. The tweet read, and I quote, "After a well-received match on Main Event against Dolph Ziggler, NXT's Tyler Bate has been mentioned internally as a potential call-up during the upcoming WWE draft," end quote. Now, if that's the case, this is actually a great move if done right. If done right. I actually think that Tyler Bate, I mean, he's been ready for the main roster for fucking years. After that match with Gunther, back when Gunther was Walter, back at NXT UK TakeOver Cardiff, that was probably one of the best matches of the year. Easily top 3 best matches of the fucking year for 2019. I remember it like it was yesterday. It was the afternoon before AEW All Out 2019, and Gunther, then known as Walter, and Tyler Bate put on an absolute fucking classic. For 40 minutes, those two went out there and just tore the fucking house down. Absolutely unbelievable fucking match. I think I may go back and rewatch that shit. I may very well go back and rewatch that shit. But my concern here is the same concern that I have for everyone under WWE contract right now. And I think everyone would agree with me when I tell you, we don't know what's going to happen going on in the future, because once this official sale to Endeavor is signed, sealed, and delivered, finalized, written in blood, and the contract is signed, sealed, and delivered, you can imagine that there's going to be some cuts made. The question is, how are they going to go about doing these cuts? Is it specifically just going to be backstage personnel and staff? Is it going to be actual wrestlers? I mean, if it was Vince McMahon, you could tell Vince McMahon, he has no problem cutting wrestlers. He was fucking cutting wrestlers left and right just to make sure that the stocks and the earnings were up at the end of every quarter so he could fucking bullshit the shareholders. You can imagine, just like everyone, that Vince McMahon would love to cut some wrestlers to fucking bullshit the shareholders, saying, hey, money's up, stock is up, the revenue's up. We're making more money than we've ever made in the history of the company. Meanwhile, the quality of the television is dipping and dipping and dipping. And with Vince McMahon now back in charge, especially after what happened on fucking SmackDown last night, I was trying to set up my laptop and all of a sudden I hear, Seth Rollins will go one-on-one with the Nigerian giant Omos at WrestleMania Backlash. That's all I heard when I was trying to set up my new fucking laptop. Shout out to Lisa Marie, by the way. Lisa just joined. Hope I'm coming in good, Lisa. Hope the microphone is not glitching out. Hopefully everything is running smoothly. I'm back on StreamYard as well. StreamYard hopefully should be working like a charm for me going forward. But with all this other bullshit with Vince McMahon and the fact that there's absolutely going to be some budget cuts when we finally get the sale for Endeavor finalized, what is going to come of Tyler Bate? I want everyone to think, with the way that Vince McMahon operates and the fact that there will be cuts, there's going to be cuts. Endeavor's not going to keep everyone at the rate that they're paying them. And with how Tyler Bate is perceived among Vince McMahon and the fucking butt puppets that Vince McMahon has, do you have any faith that Tyler Bate is going to succeed if he does get called up during the draft? I think Tyler Bate's fantastic. Tyler Bate could be putting on classics with everyone. Rollins, Sheamus, Balor, Damian Priest, Roman Reigns. Guy can stand face-to-face with anyone and put on a fucking 5-star match. You could do another match with fucking Gunther. But at the end of the day, is Tyler Bate going to be booked in the manner that we know that he should be booked in? I mean, look at Johnny Gargano. Johnny Gargano didn't even get the wheels rolling before Vince McMahon came back. I am not liking Tyler Bate's chances. However, we're going to keep an eye on that and hopefully, cross our fingers, shit could very well work out decently for Tyler Bate, although I do not have much faith in them. I think Tyler Bate would be a great call-up. He's above the NXT brand. NXT right now, whether anyone wants to admit it or not, NXT is the worst fucking brand on television. I just don't know if Tyler Bate is really going to succeed like we know he should succeed on the main roster, considering that Vince is back and budget cuts will be made sooner rather than later. The WRKD Wrestling Twitter account also brought us an update on Becky Lynch and Drew McIntyre. Now, apparently, the account reported that Becky Lynch merely blacked out her Twitter because she is dealing with a minor injury, and it also acts as a cover-up to play into the betrayal she felt last week after Trish Stratus blasted her in the back of the head and then gave her a weak-looking chick kick. Probably the least impactful heel turn that we've ever fucking seen. But apparently, according to Sean Ross Sapp, Sean Ross Sapp, he actually reported two things. Number one, Becky and Trish is set to take place at SummerSlam. I don't know why they did the fucking turn now. Matter of fact, I still don't know why Trish Stratus is even on television, if we're going to be quite honest here. But Sean Ross Sapp reported that Becky and Trish is not going to happen until SummerSlam, which, by the way, I don't know if you guys realize, that's on August 5th. 2023. We're sitting on April 22nd. Sean Ross Sapp also reported that Becky Lynch and her current deal is currently up in 2024, and she could be set to receive a lot of money. This method could be a way for Becky to gain more money since there are rumored cuts being made. Same thing goes for Drew McIntyre. Now, Drew McIntyre, apparently, he blacked out all of his shit on Twitter and removed any WWE mentions from his Twitter bio. Apparently, according to the reports going around and the fucking buzz going around in the IWC, a contract offer was made to Drew McIntyre. Contract offer was made. He did not like the creative direction of his character, nor did he like the amount of money that was offered in the contract. Now, that could very well be a way of WWE hinting, yeah, there's going to be some budget cuts. But Drew McIntyre, I can actually see leaving more than Becky Lynch. I don't know how Becky Lynch leaves. I honestly do believe that Becky Lynch is going to try and manipulate her way into getting some more money and possibly using AEW as a leverage. I don't think that she's going there. I don't understand how she goes there. I don't understand how Vince or anyone backstage, Vince or Triple H or fucking Nick Khan, I don't understand how they let Becky Lynch walk. Becky Lynch is one of their golden gooses in the women's division. It really makes you think, however. It does make for an interesting topic of discussion. Are they going anywhere? No, I don't think they are going anywhere. I do think that Drew has a better chance of leaving than Becky Lynch does. That's for sure. Because Drew, he's really done everything. Becky Lynch, you can make the argument that she's done everything too. But at the end of the day, Becky Lynch and her husband Seth Rollins, they have made WWE their home. They are providing for their child. And they right now are doing what they're doing in WWE. They become two company individuals. Becky Lynch is a company woman. Seth Rollins is a company man. No matter how many times that they want to get pissed off at whatever plans are changing backstage during the Raw after WrestleMania, they are company individuals. So I don't see them leaving. I really don't. Drew's a different story. Drew's a very good company man in his own right, but at the end of the day, if Drew's not happy with the amount of money that he's getting, nor if he's happy with the amount of creative that he's getting and the way that he's being portrayed on television, I can absolutely see him walking. Does he ask for his release? I don't know. Could we potentially see Becky ask for her release and use AEW as a leverage to gain more money from Vince? I don't know. Is Vince going to cut other people? Is Vince going to make cuts to other professional wrestlers' contracts just to give more money to Becky Lynch? That would be really shitty. That would be really shitty. I don't know what's going to happen, but apparently she's dealing with a minor injury. I don't know what the injury is. Nothing ever came out. But I mean, if anything, it really does seem like she is using whatever's going on. She's going to be using AEW, and she's going to be using these rumored budget cuts that are coming sooner rather than later. She's going to use all that as leverage to gain more money. I really don't see how Becky Lynch leaves. Now, the whole Trish Stratus thing, that's a completely different topic of discussion, and we'll talk about that once we get to the Monday Night Raw review. But that's what's going on with Becky Lynch and Drew McIntyre. I'm still waiting to hear more news as far as that goes. Drew McIntyre's just gone completely silent. We haven't heard anything of Drew McIntyre since the report that he wasn't happy with the current creative and the current money that he was offered in this latest contract deal that WWE gave him. Now, he hasn't resigned. He hasn't resigned, not to my knowledge. Could we see him in Wembley Stadium? Yeah, if he asks for his release. If he asks for his release, he'll probably have to wait out 90 days, and then he'll probably be in Wembley Stadium at the end of August, no problem. Do I think he's going to do that? I don't know. I think Drew McIntyre's deal is also going to be a wait-and-see issue. But Drew has a better chance of leaving than Becky Lynch does. Moving on here, we got a report from PW Insider. PW Insider actually reported that there have been renewed discussions between WWE and ESPN about potential working together on new projects. So they are going to be potentially working together on some new projects. What those new projects are, I do not know. I mean, we did see Stephen Smith interview Triple H about a year ago regarding his heart condition towards the end of 2021. We have seen that. We've definitely seen that. Could we potentially see new interviews being put out there? I'm not sure if Ariel Helwani works for ESPN. I think he does. If I'm not mistaken. But we could see more interviews with that fucking dick rider, Ariel Helwani. I'm not really sure what other projects we could potentially be on the verge of regarding WWE and ESPN. If anything, it's just going to be more interviews. Could we potentially see more pay-per-views on ESPN? I believe they have like an app or something. What is it, ESPN Plus or something like that? Could we see pay-per-views potentially move over to ESPN Plus? Could Endeavor be working with ESPN on potentially putting their pay-per-views there? Putting their pay-per-views on ESPN Plus rather than having them go the UFC route? I don't know. I really don't know. It's definitely going to be an interesting scenario to keep our eyes on, but I don't know. It's very, very vague right now. Very, very vague. Johnny Gargano. Now, he's been gone for a little bit. He hasn't been seen in a few weeks. If I felt as though this was Vince McMahon, I probably would have said that first thing. And for all we know, that could still be a factor, but apparently, Fightful reported that that is not the issue with Johnny Gargano. Johnny Gargano has not been seen on Raw as of lately because apparently he has re-aggravated a shoulder injury that kept him out of action before. Now, the hope is that no surgery will be required and he just needs some physical therapy. Now, if this is the legit truth about Johnny Gargano, I wish Johnny Gargano nothing but the best. I hope that he recovers as quickly as he possibly could, because Johnny Gargano, he is sorely missed on the show, and he is sorely needed, especially on a show that needs new blood in a desperate fucking way. That's why I'm very, very glad that Bronson Reed and Io Sky, they're getting championship matches. And I'm very, very happy to see that they're trying to get some new blood in the championship title scene across both shows as well. Across both shows. We've been seeing some new blood fight for the Intercontinental Championship as well. Karrion Kross and Shinsuke Nakamura are probably going to mix it up. I appreciate that. Johnny Gargano, though, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Johnny Gargano. I'd like to believe that this is true, but again, there's always that little voice, that little fucking birdie in the back of my mind that keeps on saying, this has to do with Vince McMahon. This has got to be Vince McMahon related. I don't know. It's definitely something that I want to say, and I want to stand firmly behind it. But with Johnny Gargano, I've always known Johnny Gargano to be very transparent when it comes to his fans, and he's told everyone what it's like and how he is and what he wants to do with his future. Johnny Gargano has always been very open. He's been very honest. So you know what? If Johnny Gargano, according to Fightful, if he's dealing with a shoulder injury, then I'm going to have to believe Johnny here. I'm not sure if Johnny told them specifically, but, you know, Johnny didn't come out and deny anything. He's actually been pretty silent. Maybe he is taking some extra time away because Vince McMahon is back. Maybe Johnny Gargano is fearful that Vince is going to get rid of him. It's a possibility. Do we know for sure? No, we may never know for sure. The only way that we'll know for sure is if he does end up on the released list. We'll have to wait and see. But apparently Johnny Gargano's just out because he has re-aggravated a shoulder injury. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. I wish Johnny Gargano an incredibly speedy recovery. AEW. Now, according to reports, Andrew Zarian on Wrestling Observer Live, he reported that AEW is actually set to have a harder brand split than expected. AEW booked the United Center for Saturday, June 17th, 2023. Reportedly, that is going to be the debut of AEW's new show, which is called Collision. It will be on Saturdays, and it will reportedly be live in the 8 to 10 p.m. time slot, similar to how Dynamite is live on Wednesdays between 8 and 10. CM Punk is rumored to come back to AEW at that time, and he is currently set to be the main star of that show. He will lead a roster split based on those who are willing to work with him and who is not willing to work with him. Punk is also set to return to AEW after he has had a sit-down meeting with Chris Jericho to work some things out. Omega and the Bucks reportedly have no desire to work things out with CM Punk, and CM Punk was actually told not to make any contact with Kenny Omega and the Bucks whatsoever. Now, when I heard this report, I was kind of 50-50 on it. And you know what? I kind of still am a little 50-50 on this roster split. On the negative side of things, this roster split really showcases a poor display of leadership by Tony Khan. He's allowing one fucking man to make the decision on whether or not we split the rosters, because the entire AEW roster wants to be a bunch of fucking pussies, and they don't want to put their fucking personal feelings aside for the greater good of business. This company is 4+ years old. They've barely even gotten started, and they still got a lot of things that they need to work out. And the roster is making it hard for Tony Khan to work some shit out. And Tony Khan is not doing anything to tell them, hey, Stop being fucking pussies. Be fucking men. Be fucking women. Talk this shit out. Do what you need to do. Put it aside for the greater good of business. Because at the end of the day, CM Punk is going to make AEW television better. Was he in the wrong? Yes, absolutely. But if CM Punk is willing to talk some shit out with Chris Jericho, of all people, and according to WrestlingNews.co, Chris Jericho has become Tony Khan's most trusted confidant. If Jericho is willing to go out of his way, sit down, talk this shit out like a fucking man with Phil Brooks, why is it that the rest of the roster can't do it? Why is it that the rest of the roster continue to be fucking idiots? They want to be fucking idiots caught up in their fucking feelings because they've been all fucking entitled. They've been fucking entitled, and they've pretty much been able to do whatever the fuck they want on AEW television. They're not handcuffed. They're not bound to scripts like WWE is. That's all of a sudden giving them a false sense of confidence. As if they're immune to the fucking rules. As if, oh no, you have to cater to me. No. Tony Khan should step up, and he should grow a pair of fucking balls and be a CEO. He should be a chief executive officer and put forth an actual display of leadership to get all of this shit back on the right track, back to where the company needs to be. If your best interests are not with the company, and if your best interests are going to be yourself, and you're going to be a selfish asshole, then you know what? You can get the fuck out. You can go somewhere else, and you could be fucking misused. Tony Khan's not doing that. Apparently, they're splitting the roster for one man and one man only, which is absolutely fucking stupid. However, on the positive side, you take a look at the roster that they have and the roster that is ever growing. With them getting a new show and some extra television time, the positives would be potentially a bit more organization. Now, Big Swole is a fucking race-baiting piece of shit, but she mentioned something about there not being any structure backstage. It's a very, very, very large roster that Tony Khan is working with. So you know what? If we do get a brand split, that could potentially put forth a sense of organization. That way Tony Khan is not scrambling to find some television space for this guy and that guy or this woman or that woman. Because at the end of the day, AEW does not have enough television time for the roster that they have. Even with Ring of Honor on Thursdays, Tony Khan seems like he's always trying to overstack the fucking shows. He's trying too hard to make everybody happy. And that's not how he should be operating. He should not be operating with the mentality of, oh, I got to get everyone on the show, give everyone an opportunity to wrestle to make everyone happy. No, you should put forth the most important superstars, the most important wrestlers, the most important storylines, the most important angles on television on a weekly basis. And if you cannot find an important angle for an individual, a wrestler, to be in, then you should not be using them on television just for the simple fact of them winning matches. You can't fucking do that. That is going to be counterproductive, because then they're going to rank up all these fucking wins. If you book them to win, they're going to rank up all these fucking wins. Meanwhile, an individual who just appeared on television 2 weeks ago is getting a championship match. Why aren't they getting a championship match? Same thing with Rampage. 4 fucking matches and a couple of segments. All that shit packed into 1 hour. Now, Rampage isn't necessarily a terrible show. Rampage is not necessarily a terrible show. Trust me, I know what a terrible show is. I watched the Raw after WrestleMania a few weeks ago. However, if you're going to tell me that you actually enjoy the just crammed format of Rampage, if you actually enjoy just the fucking crammed format of Rampage, that shit right there is just fucking terrible. That shit right there, that shit don't fly. I'm sorry. Rampage should be 3 quality matches, or if you want to do something better, take out 1 match, do 2 matches. Both of those matches get at least 15 minutes. And then you can have some segments littered in between those 2 matches. That would be a great way to do Rampage. Now that you got Collision, if you're going to separate the rosters, you have one set of individuals on fucking Wednesday, one set of individuals on Saturdays, even though I'd prefer Collision to be on Tuesdays because I fucking hate those Saturday shows. Really, really don't understand. Matter of fact, you could easily take Rampage off of Friday and make that shit 2 hours. You could easily take Rampage off of Friday, put it on Tuesday, make that shit 2 hours, make that what it needs to be. Because Rampage is never going to grow. It is never going to be enhanced if it stays in that shit time slot for an hour. And if you're going to keep it on Fridays at an hour, you may as well just move it to 7 p.m. rather than 10 p.m. 10 p.m., it's just too fucking late. I understand that's what TNT wanted. That's what Time Warner wanted. But at the end of the day, I think Tony Khan is going to have to stand up to them and say, this is what we need to do. This is going to make the show better. And this is going to gain everyone more viewers. That's how it should be done. This will gain you more revenue. Rampage is not a terrible show, but it's never going to grow in that time slot. Collision, if that's going to be live on Saturdays, every single Saturday, with a set roster, you know what? I think that could actually work out very well. You can assign certain champions to certain brands. You can have MJF and FTR and Jamie Hayter. Those 3 championships can float back and forth. You can have the fucking Trios championships on Collision. You can have the fucking TNT championship on Collision. You can have the all international title. I almost said all Atlantic. You can have the international title on Collision, and then you can have all the other championships float back and forth. The TBS championship, that remains on Dynamite. TBS championship remains on Dynamite and Dynamite alone. And then the tag team titles, the world championship and the women's championship, they can float between both shows. And then everyone else is split. That would be a great way to do it. Tony Khan right now, with what he's doing, he's doing too much at once. That's why a few of these shows don't feel the way that they need to feel. That's why you got fucking Dark and Dark Elevation. They are 6-7 matches of nothing but enhancement matches. Ring of Honor should be 5 matches. You can cut that shit in half. And you can easily put forth some storylines. And if you're going to add Collision, this is a big fucking thing. And I've been saying this for quite some time. Tony Khan, I love Tony Khan. I love what he's been doing. Tony Khan has rejuvenated a lot of people's love for professional wrestling. He has. Trust me on that. I love Tony Khan. I love what he's done. He's made professional wrestling great again, but the man is not a miracle worker. The man is not Superman. The man cannot do Dark, Elevation, Dynamite, Rampage, Ring of Honor, and Collision all by himself. This right here, this is the proper time. This is the absolute perfect fucking time for Tony Khan to establish himself a creative team, hire writers, hire a development team, because if he does not, he is going to end up wearing himself thin. If not already, he's going to completely drain himself dry. The man is not running on fucking all this fucking energy at once. He can't fucking take 12 cups of coffee every single day and say, yeah, I'm good to go. No, he needs to assemble a creative team. He needs to hire writers, and he needs to spread out the responsibilities and duties amongst other people. Because if he doesn't, that shit's not going to work out good for him. If he doesn't, we're going to see the quality of the television shows start to dip. And we saw that with Rampage. Rampage was doing some great material in late 2021, early 2022. And then in mid-2022, we started to see the quality of Rampage dip. It felt rushed. There was too much crammed into the actual fucking show. It felt like Tony Khan was rushing just to get all these fucking people on the show. It did not feel like it originally felt. And if that's how Tony Khan's going to do Collision, that's not going to work out well. It seems as though the only show where we actually get something of substance is Dynamite. And even then, Dynamite has its problems as well. Look at what Tony Khan is doing with the TNT Championship. The TNT Championship, I don't know what the fuck he's doing. It's like he's trying to give everyone a championship reign because he's afraid that everyone is going to get all pissed. I'm going to give you a title reign. I'm going to give you a title reign. What he's doing with the TNT title is fucking pathetic. The TNT title should be on one person, and that person should be holding it for 5, 6, 7 months extensively. I am not saying that every single champion needs to pull a Roman Reigns and hold the title for 1,000 days. But you take a look at every other singles champion under Tony Khan right now, they're all getting solid amounts of time with their championship. MJF is getting a solid amount of time. Jamie Hayter is getting a solid amount of time. Orange Cassidy's getting a solid amount of time. Claudio is getting a solid amount of time with the Ring of Honor championship. Samoa Joe has been world television champion for over a year. You don't have to have him pull Roman Reigns, but oh my God, at least give these guys 5 to 6 months with the championship. The TNT title, if it's operating as a television championship, that shit is not going to work. It does not increase the prestige. It does not make television exciting. And it makes the championship and the individuals holding it look terrible. Wardlow should have never lost the TNT championship back in November. He should have kept it all the way up until now, where you could have built up someone else. The TNT title and the booking of that title needs to fucking change, and it needs to change now. The more that Tony Khan does this shit, the less people are going to tune in to watch his shows. It's time that Tony Khan really hires a writing team. It's time that he actually thinks and develops long-term plans going forward. It's like he's lost his ability to book long-term. He's lost his ability to book long-term. He needs to get back to what made AEW great. That new sense of long-term storytelling, making sure that everyone gets a piece of the pie, not leaving other people out, making sure that storylines are continued on a weekly basis. We need to get back to what AEW was and always should be. Tony Khan is going to have to sit down, think about what he wants to do, develop a team, spread out the responsibilities to other people that he trusts, and make sure he can have the final say. He looks over all the scripts. That way, he's not burnt out. He needs to start doing that ASAP. Because what he's doing right now, I'm sorry. I love what he's been doing, but it's not working anymore. Tony Khan has too many responsibilities on his plate, and it is causing the quality of the television shows on Wednesdays, on Fridays, and if he's not careful, on Saturdays to suffer. We're going to stick with AEW here for a little bit because I actually got a report as to why Hangman Page is out. Apparently, Hangman Page is currently out right now, and it's not just because he's selling the injury that the Blackpool Combat Club gave to him. Apparently, according to Fightful, Hangman is actually in talks with AEW for a contract extension. He is in talks with Tony Khan about a contract extension, and you know what? I think that is a very, very wise move by Tony Khan to try and make sure that he's got Hangman Page locked down, because Hangman Page, when Jon Moxley is gone, when Jon Moxley is not there anymore, Hangman Page will be taking Jon Moxley's place as the ace of AEW. Hangman Page has been one of the biggest stars that they took that was not an ex-WWE individual, that was okay on the indies, but wasn't really all that exciting and all too popular amongst the fans. He brought Hangman Adam Page in, and he made Adam Hangman Page the best possible version of himself that he possibly could. Hangman Page has been doing the best work of his career, especially during his world title reign. I don't give a shit what anyone says in that world title reign. That world title reign needs to be respected a little bit more. Hangman Page's world title reign was fucking great. The matches that he put on, the work rate that he put forth in that title reign, that is to be respected. That is to be respected beyond belief. The only downside to Hangman's title reign was that it didn't last long enough. I would have wished it could have lasted long enough, but for the time that we got it, for the 200 days that we got it, his title reign was fucking great. And no one should be saying otherwise. Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful also reported where Bobby Roode has been. Where has Bobby Roode been? Now, Bobby Roode, he got neck fusion surgery, I believe. He is currently still recovering from it, and Sean Ross Sapp reported, yeah, I don't think anyone should be expecting him going forward. I think that we're going to have to wait a little bit more on Bobby Roode. And you know what? Bobby Roode can take all the time that he wants. I hope that he heals up as best as he possibly could. And if anything, what I'm really hoping for, and what I'm really crossing my fingers for, and I think everyone can agree with me on this, I'm really fucking hoping that when Bobby Roode is back and he's set and ready to make his in-ring return, I really fucking hope that they bring back the glorious Bobby Roode. Bring back glorious domination. Have him do the whole lighting thing and the robe thing. Have the crowd sing his fucking theme song. That's what we need. We need glorious Bobby Roode back. Glorious Bobby Roode, that is a solid United States champion. That's a solid Intercontinental Championship act right there. Hell, if you want to, you could fucking make Bobby Roode a world champion. Bobby Roode should have been a world champion already. The only reason why he hasn't is because WWE does not know how to book talent. They don't. Bobby Roode, when he was in NXT, he was the best heel at the time before Tommaso Ciampa came about, and he entered into his feud with Johnny Gargano. Bobby Roode, glorious Bobby Roode, was the best Bobby Roode that we have ever fucking seen. I want that Bobby Roode back. Matter of fact, I think I may go watch some fucking glorious Bobby Roode matches on NXT from back in the day. That's what we need. We need glorious Bobby Roode back, and we need him back ASAP. Now, let's talk about the big report here. Shinsuke Nakamura recently made his return to WWE television. Recently made his return 2 weeks ago, and he is now entering into a feud with Karrion Kross, which I do not mind at all. Apparently, according to Louis Dangor, however the fuck you pronounce this retard's name, I still don't know how to pronounce his name, and I've been using him as a source for God knows how many years now. If someone can please tell me how to pronounce this fucking idiot's name, is it Dangor, or Dangor? So Mr. Dangor, he reported that Nakamura has actually teased going after Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship, and that could very well be the match that we get at Night of Champions. As you guys know, Night of Champions has been the new name for the Saudi Arabian show that's going down on May 27th in Saudi Arabia at 2 p.m. That is the current rumored plan to do Night of Champions. And on that day, Roman Reigns will be reaching 1,000 days as the undisputed WWE Universal Heavyweight Champion. Now, if this is the case, I really don't know why. I really don't know why Nakamura is being positioned to go up against Roman Reigns at Night of Champions. I understand that they're doing this because they want to, hype up Roman Reigns, and it's a huge milestone. It's going to be big. It's going to be historic. But you're putting Shinsuke Nakamura in there, who realistically should be in a position where he should be getting a renewed push. And if Nakamura, you can trade Nakamura over to Raw. Nakamura gets traded over to Monday Night Raw. Nakamura could very well be in a position where he could be fighting guys like Austin Theory and Bobby Lashley, Bronson Reed. I would actually love to see a United States title match between Nakamura and Austin Theory. I think that would be great. But you're putting him up against Roman Reigns, who right now clearly is not going to be losing until he gets to Cody Rhodes again, because there's legitimately nobody else that's going to be beating him. I don't give a shit what you say, whether it be Lashley, Rollins, Nakamura, AJ Styles. Nobody's beating Roman but Cody. Anyone that goes up against Roman Reigns between now and whenever that rematch with Cody Rhodes is, they're taking an automatic L at the hands of Roman Reigns. So I don't understand why Nakamura is in this position where he could potentially be taking an L at the hands of Roman Reigns. Is it going to be a good match? Yeah, it'll be a good match. Be a great match. It'll be a fantastic match. Roman Reigns will showcase to everyone why he's great at what he does. Nakamura will showcase to everyone why he's great at what he does. And they're going to have a great fucking match. But it's ultimately an L for Shinsuke Nakamura. No one is convinced that Nakamura is ever going to beat Roman Reigns. Back then, they had a chance to build up Nakamura to potentially beat Roman Reigns. You could have had Nakamura win the Money in the Bank briefcase, and you could have had Shinsuke Nakamura cash in on Roman Reigns at WrestleMania and make it a big fucking deal. Make it a big moment. It would be a great moment for Shinsuke. It would be a great moment for Roman to lose the championship. But they didn't do that. Instead, they decided to keep the title on Roman Reigns for Cody Rhodes. And then they had the chance at WrestleMania, and they didn't pull the trigger because Vince McMahon did not allow Cody Rhodes to beat Roman Reigns, and Vince was not going to allow an AEW superstar to beat his biggest creation since John Cena. That's exactly what happened. If you don't like it, you can get the fuck out of here. There's the door. Get the fuck out. It is very, 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 very difficult what they're doing with Roman Reigns right now. It's difficult because no matter what happens, no matter how you want to look at it, as great as he is, and he's great, he's a bona fide Hall of Famer, he's going to go into the Hall of Fame, he has solidified himself as a fucking legend with this tribal chief gimmick. But as of right now, where we stand, Roman Reigns and his title reign has seen its day. There's nowhere left for Roman Reigns to go, not just as a champion, but as a WWE superstar. What more does he have left to do? The only things that he has left to do is feud with the Bloodline and feud with The Rock. And if anything, I don't even think that the feud with The Rock's even going to happen. So after he feuds with the Bloodline, he's going to be off to fucking Hollywood. There's nothing left for Roman to do. Him holding the championship does more harm than good. Him holding the championship right now is not going to put forth a good scenario for individuals like a Nakamura or a Rollins or a Drew McIntyre or an Austin Theory, shit like that. And people like that, they're not going to get their world title opportunities because it's automatically going to be a fucking L. And what about all the individuals that should be fighting for the world championship that you could put on some great matches with, but can't because they're heels and Roman's a top heel? Balor could be fighting for a world title. We got LA Knight. He could be fighting for a world title. Priest could be fighting for a world title. Hell, you could fucking put Chad Gable in there. Give me Chad Gable versus Cody Rhodes for the world championship. Nakamura and anyone that fights Roman that's not named Cody Rhodes is going to be an automatic L. However, one thing to bring up is the fact that the Usos and Solo Sikoa, they have been looking very strong these last couple of weeks. Based on how the Usos and Solo have been booked, something tells me that they're setting up the Usos and Solo Sikoa to lose two big matches. The Usos are going to fail to beat Owens and Zayn, and then they're going to lose the six-man tag team match at WrestleMania Backlash. And if that's the case, Cody, he could potentially slide his way in after he beats Lesnar, because I don't understand how he's not going to beat Lesnar. Cody beats Lesnar at Backlash. Cody then is probably going to get the World Championship opportunity at Night of Champions, and then the Usos and Solo are inevitably going to cost Reigns at Night of Champions. Now, at the end of the day, it would be fucking stupid because they just should have did it at WrestleMania. But if anything, I wouldn't even waste any time, and I would just have Cody Rhodes win the fucking titles and get it over with, because it's not like it's going to have as big an impact as it would have. Just fucking give him the titles. But that's how I see things playing out. For some weird reason, I can absolutely see the Usos losing the tag team title rematch next week to Owens and Zayn, and then Solo and the Usos lose to Riddle, Sami Zayn, and Kevin Owens at Backlash. Cody beats Lesnar. Roman is disappointed in the Usos and Solo for not getting the job done. And then we could potentially be on the verge of seeing a rematch with Cody and Roman, and Cody could win the championship after Roman hits 1,000 days, and Cody Rhodes is going to reap the benefits of the bloodline turning on Roman Reigns because they're sick of Roman Reigns and his bullshit that he's giving to them. Now, it would look absolutely fucking retarded, and I'm going to mention it. Why didn't you just do it at WrestleMania? But if anything, the longer that Roman holds the championships, the more damage it's going to do to the overall landscape of WWE. Look at what they have Seth Rollins doing. Seth Rollins was announced last night to have a match at Backlash with fucking Omos. That's the best that you got for Seth Rollins? That's the best you got. Seth Rollins, might I remind you, Seth Rollins, ever since his feud with Edge in 2021, Seth Rollins has been doing the best work of his career. The man legitimately put everyone and their mother over in 2022. He was putting over guys like Roman and Lesnar and Cody, Riddle, did everything that he was asked to do, put over Edge as well. Then he comes into 2023, goes into a feud with Logan Paul, puts on a banger match, and the best that you can do is fucking give him Omos. This is what fucking happens when you got Roman Reigns holding the championship longer than he should have. WrestleMania was the time. WrestleMania was the moment that they've all been fucking building towards. And you didn't pull the trigger for what? You didn't pull the trigger for what? A 1,000-day record that doesn't need to be. What a fucking spit in the face to Seth Rollins that he's got to go fucking fight the Nigerian Great Khali at Backlash. Stupid. The impact that Cody Rhodes is going to have beating Roman Reigns at Night of Champions, if it happens, it's not going to be anything. It's not going to be anything. It's going to feel less than what it would have felt at WrestleMania. But if we're going to be quite honest with you, with negative comes positive and vice versa. Even though the impact will not be as big, and even though it would seem fucking stupid, and there's going to be a lot of people asking, well, why didn't you just do it at WrestleMania? After the fuck up at WrestleMania, it's probably best that Cody beats Roman Reigns at Night of Champions after Roman Reigns hits 1,000 days, so that way we can finally get the fucking title off of Roman Reigns, and Cody Rhodes can go into the summer and go into the fall, going into next year's WrestleMania with the championship and do whatever it is he needs to do. That's how I see it. We'll have to wait and see, but Shinsuke Nakamura, I don't give a shit how good the match will be. If Nakamura fights Roman at Night of Champions, it's an automatic L. It's an automatic L. It's Cody Rhodes or bust. Cody Rhodes is the only man that's beating Roman Reigns. There's nobody else. The question is, how much longer are they going to stretch out this adversity angle with Cody Rhodes? How much longer are they going to stretch out this, hard times, baby? They got to suffer through some hard times. You know, they kick him in the butt and they give him a week's allowance and say, that's hard times. How much longer does Cody Rhodes need to go through hard times? As if his 17-year career wasn't enough hard times. Stupid. We'll see what happens. And yes, Mitch, I do have a new computer. I do have a new computer. It's zoomed in a lot. I'm going to see if I can zoom it out a little bit. I want to see if I can zoom it out just a little bit. Probably get some shit down a little bit better. We'll see what happens. But that's what's going on in the world of wrestling today. The newsrooms and reports. Solid amount of people watching. We got Paul, we got Mitch, we got Earl, we got Dylan, we got Sarah, we got Lisa, we got Dee Dee, we got the Final Hoss. We got a lot of fucking people. A lot of fucking people. Good shit. Good shit. You're coming in clutch. You're coming in clutch. And look at me, Mitch. I ain't fucking freezing up. I ain't fucking freezing up. I'm back on StreamYard. That's what it was, Mitch. It was because my fucking computer sucked donkey dick. But I'm back in the game. I'm back in the game and I'm fucking rolling. Hold on a minute. Paul just sent me a tweet about 33 minutes ago. Paul tagged me, and apparently Angel Garza has blacked out his Twitter profile. Angel Garza has blacked out his Twitter profile. So that's Becky, Angel Garza, and Drew McIntyre. I don't know what this means. I really don't know. Is this a way to start a revolt? I don't know. Do I think it is? You know what? I don't think so. I don't think so because at the end of the fucking day, the majority of WWE superstars backstage, they're all fucking pussies. They talk a big game, but they can never back it up. But you know what? It's news. Angel Garza, he blacked out his Twitter. We'll have to wait and see. But you guys have been great. You guys have been awesome. I hope you guys have been having a wonderful, wonderful time thus far. We are rocking and rolling. We're going to get into the weekly show reviews. We actually got Rampage tonight. Rampage is tonight. Rampage is going to be live at 10 p.m. tonight. And Rampage, we got Vinkingo taking on Dralistico. We got Moxley taking on Christopher Daniels. Couple things going down tonight on Rampage. So I will be watching. I will be live tweeting. I have some shit to get into shape as well. So it's going to be a pretty productive weekend for me. I'm happy it's the weekend, let me tell you that. But let's talk about Monday Night Raw. WWE television this week, it's been a real fucking downer. WWE television this week has been a real fucking downer. And you know what? I have a feeling that this is what we're going to get even after the draft. I honestly think that we're back to the lazy formulaic bullshit format that we usually get with WWE programming. I don't want to believe that. I really don't want to believe that, but I really don't understand. I really don't understand how. I really don't understand how we can't believe it. I don't know. But Monday Night Raw, we did get some decent stuff on Raw. It wasn't a complete bust. We did get a little bit of WrestleMania Backlash or Backlash build. Keep on fucking saying WrestleMania Backlash. It's like fucking Vince McMahon injected his stupidity into my brain. So the Bloodline kicked off the show. Jey Uso, he goes, "The Bloodline is now in your city." So he was cutting a promo on the Judgment Day, or not on the Judgment Day. He was cutting his promo as per usual, the typical Usos promo. The Judgment Day then interrupted. He wasn't cutting a promo on the Judgment Day, but the Judgment Day interrupted. Heyman then shook Damian Priest's hand. Heyman goes, "If there's a heaven, none of us are getting into it," which I liked. I like that line. Heyman then said Roman Reigns was testing the Usos with some short-term challenges because the Usos were not aware of this one-night-only partnership with the Judgment Day. Rhea kept on eyeing Solo Sikoa, which is really nothing. Really nothing. It was just a means to, make the both of them look strong. That's it. So Heyman said the Judgment Day needs something taken care of. That's Bad Bunny. Solo will handle it. We have a KO and Sami Zayn problem, and we have a riddle to solve. Tonight, Riddle, Kevin Owens, and Sami Zayn will take on the Judgment Day, and Solo will take on Rey Mysterio. So I actually did not mind that little strategy where we got the Bloodline taking care of the Rey Mysterio problem, and then the Judgment Day trying to take care of the KO, Sami Zayn, and Riddle problem. You know, if we want to do a Judgment Day Bloodline feud after the draft, I wouldn't mind that. I actually think that would be rather refreshing. I think that would be rather refreshing. And we could get some interesting matches. So Rey Mysterio, he took on Solo Sikoa. And Solo Sikoa, I have been loving, absolutely loving what WWE's been doing with Solo Sikoa. Solo Sikoa has been booked perfectly. Solo Sikoa has been booked perfectly. He's not overexposed. He's not being pushed too soon. He is not being put in scenarios where he's not going to succeed. He's being put in matches with the big stars, being booked like a legit fucking beast. He's actually being booked now, but he's being booked better now than he was in NXT. Not even bullshitting you. Not even bullshitting you. Solo Sikoa has been booked great. This was a very good match, a very solid match with Rey Mysterio. So Rey was on the defense. Rey dodged a hip attack, delivered a seated senton and a drop kick for a 2. Solo with a Samoan drop for a 2. I love Solo Sikoa's Samoan drop, by the way. Solo has a great Samoan drop, very impactful. Solo was caught with the 619. Rey delivered the splash, but Solo kicked out. The Usos came out. Rey Mysterio, he saw the Usos coming out before Legado del Fantasma and the Latino World Order attacked. Solo caught the 619. Rey Mysterio with a second 619. The splash missed. Solo with a Samoan spike, and Solo wins. A very solid match. Solo continues to be a beast, and afterwards the Bloodline attacked the Latino World Order and laid out Rey Mysterio with the 1D. I mean, if you want to do a Bloodline Latino World Order storyline, I would not mind that. You can get some great matches out of the Latino World Order and the Bloodline. Maybe we get a Rey Mysterio versus Roman Reigns match, but I would much rather that be without the championship. Maybe we get Santos Escobar versus a Solo Sikoa. That would be an interesting match too. Bianca Belair, she took on Dakota Kai. I don't want to say this was bad because look, these two women are great at what they do. But holy shit, the crowd was fucking dead silent. Dead fucking silent. And it just proves what I've been saying for a long, long time. Women's wrestling in WWE is fucking dead. It's dead. We could have great matches at WrestleMania with Bianca Belair and Asuka all we want. We can have Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair, even though she's a bitch. Charlotte Flair put on the best women's match of the fucking year with Rhea Ripley. That match could be replayed over and over again, all we want. But at the end of the day, the damage that Vince and Bruce did, it's going to take years to repair. Triple H inherited a terrible women's division, and as we speak right now, it's still terrible. Triple H never had the opportunity to put forth the true process of rehabilitation that the women's division desperately needs. He hasn't. And to be quite honest with you, if this is what we're going to be subjected to, especially considering that Vince is back, especially considering that fucking Vince is back, I don't know if the women's division is ever going to be rehabilitated. I don't know if it's ever going to be rehabilitated. Is the damage that Bruce and Vince did just too much to overcome? It could very well be. Maybe it may just be too much to overcome. I don't want to believe that, but you know what? At this point, I may have to believe it. Just too much. Crowd was fucking dead. Bianca Belair and Dakota, listen, they tried, but no one gave a shit. We had a stalling suplex and a handspring moonsault by Bianca for a 2. Wheelbarrow facebuster for a 2 by Dakota Kai. Running boot. Haluva kick missed. Bianca hit Dakota Kai with the KOD. Nobody gives a shit. All of this was nothing more than a way to build up to the inevitable Raw Women's title match, which I do believe we will see at Backlash. And that's going to be a great match. We had a very nice little promo package for Bronson Reed. And I'd like to hope that Triple H has a big say in what Bronson Reed is doing on the main roster. We actually got a U.S. title match booked for Backlash. It's Austin Theory defending against Bronson Reed and Bobby Lashley. And you know something? I would not be opposed. I really wouldn't. I would not be opposed whatsoever if they want to give Bronson Reed the United States Championship. Matter of fact, if Bronson Reed wins the United States Championship, I'm going to fucking jump for joy. Even though there's really no place for Austin Theory to go, because again, once he loses the U.S. title, the next step logically is the World Heavyweight Championship title scene. Where else would he go? Now, I don't know where Austin Theory would go after losing the title, but if they do want to give Austin Theory the United States Championship, I would not Austin Theory, Bronson Reed the United States Championship. If they want to give Reed the U.S. title, I would not be opposed to that whatsoever. If Austin Theory is retaining, then it's Bobby Lashley that needs to take the pin. Bobby Lashley clearly has to take the pin. How is Austin Theory going to retain? I don't know. But I don't know. It could very well be a scenario where Bronson Reed's going to win that title. I wouldn't mind it. Austin Theory, he's kind of gone as far as he can go with the championship. He's kind of gone as far as he can go. He's put on a plethora of great matches with the likes of Edge, the likes of Rollins. He had a great showing in the Elimination Chamber. He beat John Cena at WrestleMania. He's developed quite a decent resume for himself as the United States champion. So if they want to give it to Reed, I wouldn't be opposed to it. Cody Rhodes, he came out to address the WWE Universe. He looked like he was ready for a fight. He goes, "So Little Rock, what do you want to talk about?" "I know. Brock Lesnar, come on down to the ring." So Adam Pearce then came out, and he was not willing to let Cody do this in Little Rock because he's not medically cleared. We respect the spirit of Cody Rhodes, but you cannot do it. Cody was then going to leave. He then went back into the ring, and he got a steel chair. Then Adam Pearce was trying to calm Cody down. He called for security. Lesnar then came out, looking like the fucking Undertaker. It's like Lesnar went down to Texas. He goes, hey, yo, Mark Calloway, can I borrow your trench coat and hat? And Mark goes, sure, yeah, go ahead, take my hat. Take my hat, just wear it with pride. I don't know why Brock Lesnar came out dressed as the Undertaker, but very, very odd, to say the least. Came out with the black trench coat and the fucking hat. The Brocker Taker. So Lesnar was fucking laughing at Cody. Cody then fought off 10 security guards all at once, ran down the ramp to go after Lesnar. All of a sudden, a sea of fucking security guards just swarms Cody Rhodes. Cody jumped. He jumped for Lesnar. Lesnar didn't even budge. A swarm of security guards pulls Cody Rhodes back. And then Cody, watching as Brock Lesnar continues just to fucking laugh like a fucking banshee, Cody Rhodes beats the shit out of every single security guard with steel chairs and fucking punches and clotheslines. It was like one after the other. It was like a fucking conveyor belt. Punch, one guy goes down. Punch, another guy. Punch. It looked stupid. It looked stupid. We got no explanation as to why Brock Lesnar attacked Cody Rhodes. Cody then took the mic and he goes, I spent my entire life with cowboys. Lesnar, you are not a cowboy. I grew up with them. You are a coward. And that was it. No explanation whatsoever. None. None at all. Why? Why is it that we are sitting here and Brock Lesnar came out looking like The Undertaker. He did not give us one single solitary fucking explanation as to why he attacked Cody Rhodes. Lesnar comes out, all he does is fucking laugh and smile. And Cody, just like every other individual before him, just like every single other buildup to a big match. How many times have we seen this shit? How many fucking times have we seen a big fucking matchup? They do this with every single one of Brock Lesnar's major matchups. Roman Reigns, Undertaker, Cena. Every single Brock Lesnar feud is built up with a fucking security brawl. How many fucking times do we need to see the same tired bullshit? The same tired bullshit where someone beats the shit out of 40, 50 security guards all at once to try and sell a big-time fucking match. We got no explanation, so we're still running with the fucking gag that, oh yeah, Lesnar's pissed. Lesnar's pissed that he had to open WrestleMania night number 2. That's what we're going with. What effect does Cody Rhodes have on Brock Lesnar? There's no fucking beef. There's no fucking beef. And yes, Brock Lesnar needs to give us a legitimate fucking explanation, because whatever this shit is, this shit's fucking terrible. How are we supposed to be invested? How are we supposed to care about a fucking storyline with no story? It's fucking stupid. You want people to care about Cody Rhodes overcoming the beast, Brock Lesnar, right? You want Cody Rhodes to overcome the beast, Brock Lesnar. Why is he overcoming Brock Lesnar? What does Brock Lesnar have to do with Cody Rhodes? There is nothing that Brock Lesnar has to do with Cody Rhodes. Lesnar can talk just fine. He can cut a promo just fine. Why is it that we get no explanation and we get the same old tired security brawl that we've gotten with every other big fucking matchup? Every single fucking time, security brawl, security brawl, security brawl. That shit needs to be done away with. It has been overplayed for God knows how many years. I don't give a shit about this match. Could be a great match all at once, but what they did here, fucking terrible. Lame, recycled bullshit. The Miz. Never in my life did I ever imagine myself saying that The Miz was actually one of the best acts on the show. Yes, you heard me correctly. The Miz was one of the best acts on Monday Night Raw this week. Miz took on Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins didn't even get his coat off, and The Miz went full-on beast mode and started attacking Seth Rollins. And the entire fucking match, get this, the entire fucking match, The Miz was as serious as I've ever fucking seen him. The Miz was as serious as I've ever fucking seen him, and this was probably the most intense that I've seen The Miz in years. Years. I don't know what happened. I don't know what came about. I'm not sure what was in the water in Little Rock. But this match was fucking great. It's a great fucking match. Now, Seth Rollins has always been great, but The Miz, the one thing that I'm going to continue to ask, where the fuck has this Miz been? Where the fuck has this Miz been for the last 4 years? The last time that The Miz was like this was when he was feuding with Bryan Danielson in 2018. That was the last time we saw The Miz like this. Why is it that we have to wait 4 years to see The Miz finally develop some fucking balls? This was the best match that The Miz has wrestled since his match with Logan Paul. Why is it that we need to wait once in a fucking millennium for an actual entertaining match with The Miz. This is The Miz. If we got this Miz every single fucking week, you would not hear one single fucking complaint out of me. We need to get less Miz TV. We need to get less Hollywood A-lister Miz and more serious, I am sick and tired of being disrespected. I'm going to trash talk everyone and showcase to everyone why I am the fucking A-lister. Why I am the fucking best. We need that Miz. We need that Miz. This is the Miz that we need going forward. We need the Miz that was trash-talking John Cena in his feud going into WrestleMania 27. We need that Miz. When the Miz won the WWE Championship, we need that Miz, the serious Miz. I remember the Miz put on a very good match with Randy Orton at the Royal Rumble in 2011. Royal Rumble 2011, that was a great Royal Rumble. That was a great Royal Rumble pay-per-view. This is what we need. This is exactly what we need going forward. So Rollins came in with a flying clothesline, a suicide dive, a second one, a third one. Rollins was in control. Miz then sent Rollins into the timekeeper's area. We had Rollins with a discus lariat on the Miz and a sling blade for a 2. Crowd was chanting, "This is awesome." Miz hit a code breaker in the corner for a 2, which looked pretty decent. Miz was caught with a buckle bomb and a frog splash, but the knees were up. Knees were up. We got back and forth roll-ups. Miz then knee dropped Rollins on his injured knee. He locked in a figure 4. Rollins got to the ropes. Rollins then was caught with a DDT, and then Miz kept his grip. This was great. Snap DDT. Miz kept his grip, rolled through into another DDT. Rollins kicked out. Crowd was chanting, "This is awesome" again. Rollins then with a superplex Falcon Arrow combination, Seth with a stomp, and Rollins gets the win. Again, I ask, where the fuck was this Miz? If we got this Miz on television every week, my mouth is shut. I ain't going to complain one bit. This is the Miz that we need. Not coward Miz. We don't need coward shitty Miz. We need intense Miz. We need fully fledged focused Miz. We need the Miz that cuts these scathing promos on Dolph Ziggler. That's the type we need 2016 Miz back. When Miz was feuding with Dolph Ziggler in 2016 for the Intercontinental title, that was the best version of the Miz that we've ever gotten. That's the Miz that we need. Bobby Lashley and Austin Theory. So Lashley was in control early on. We had a nice flatliner on Theory. Theory then was bounced headfirst off the post. Lashley was actually bleeding from his mouth coming back from commercial. Lashley tried to mount the comeback with a big spine buster, a couple of shoulder tackles. Theory, he reversed the spear. He dodged it. A-Town Down was reversed. TKO by Bobby Lashley. Theory kicked out. Theory then rolled to the apron. He got locked in the hurt lock. Reed, Bronson Reed that is, came out of fucking nowhere, crushed the both of them. Reed then attacked Lashley. We had a shoulder tackle off the apron. Back in the ring, Theory assisted Bronson Reed, and Bronson Reed delivered a beautiful tsunami splash, and Bobby Lashley was down and out. And this past Friday on SmackDown, it was confirmed that it will be Bobby Lashley, Bronson Reed, and Austin Theory in a triple threat match for the United States Championship. Trish Stratus came out. And I didn't give one single shit. So Trish Stratus came out wearing all black and a black cowboy hat. Trish then said, "I'm going to give everyone a history lesson." She said she put women's wrestling on the map, and she brought credibility to a non-existent women's division. It was Lita. It was not Lita. It was me. I made you give a crap about this women's division, And without me, there would be no women's revolution. I changed everything. And you say that the 4 horsewomen made women's wrestling something? That's a joke. I let it slide for as long as I could, but the women, this woman, Becky Lynch, she actually believes her own hype. Not once did Becky Lynch say, "Thank you, Trish," which I find that to be bullshit. I can assure you that Becky Lynch was probably so fucking grateful that she got all of the fucking praise that she did from Trish Stratus, and she thanked Trish for doing what she did for the women's wrestling sport and the entire perception of women's wrestling. I can bet you almost 1,000, I'll bet you my entire fucking life savings that Becky Lynch, as soon as she met Trish Stratus, she said thank you. So I don't believe that shit for 1 second. So Trish then said, she's very convincing. She even convinced Lita, and she was Becky's little sidekick. But Trish Stratus is nobody's sidekick. She's no one's lackey. I had to take Lita out of the equation. I needed it to be crystal clear that I was the person who screwed Becky out of the titles. I took out the man just like that. I don't care. I wasn't going to let anyone rewrite history. I am the single most important figure in the history of WWE, and none of you will forget it. I don't understand how anyone could really be invested in this and really take what Trish Stratus is saying seriously when there's no bass in her voice. Trish Stratus had no fucking impact. She had no intensity when she spoke. She legitimately looked like she was reading the fucking weather. She was on the news reading the fucking weather. I don't think people realize that having Trish Stratus on television is actually worse. You have so many women that are just desperately waiting for an opportunity, yet you choose to build up Trish Stratus for a potential match against Becky Lynch when it's happening at SummerSlam. So you're building this shit 5 months in advance. Is Trish Stratus going to be on the show? Are we going to have to witness Trish Stratus versus Bianca Belair for the women's title? Trish Stratus doesn't even look like she wants to be there. How many women? Piper Niven, Candice LeRae, Tegan Knox, Shotzi, Raquel, Liv Morgan, Mia Yim. How many fucking people are taking a back seat so Trish Stratus can have a major program with Becky Lynch? This is going backwards. They're going backwards, and they're actually doing women's wrestling a disservice. This is not going to generate interest in women's wrestling. This is not going to generate interest in the WWE product at all. This is Vince McMahon right down to the very last letter. I don't care. I don't understand how anyone could care about Trish Stratus. Trish Stratus, she has nothing, and I mean nothing to offer anymore, especially based on her in-ring work and the way that she cuts a promo. There is nothing that's going to gravitate towards you to Trish Stratus. There's nothing that's going to gravitate you towards Trish Stratus whatsoever. I don't give a shit. Unless Trish Stratus is waiting for me in my bed when I get home from work, unless she's waiting for me in my bed wearing nothing but the cowboy hat that she was wearing on Monday Night Raw, I couldn't give 2 shits about Trish Stratus. I couldn't. I don't care. Michin and Candice LeRae, speaking of which, 2 individuals who should be a lot better off than they are. Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville, they took them on. Who gives a shit? Women's wrestling in WWE sucks. Green wins it, and we go into the tag team match on SmackDown, which was a complete waste of time as well. Main event was Matt Riddle, Kevin Owens, and Sami Zayn versus the Judgment Day. Fun match. Really nothing all too crazy. We ended up seeing the team of Owens, Riddle, and Zayn get the win. We had a stunner and a haluva kick. Tag to Riddle, floating bro, and Matt Riddle gets the win for his team. Afterwards, the Bloodline and the Latino World Order all got into an all-out melee, and the babyfaces ended up standing tall. I'm guessing this is just a little thing to kind of tease you and get everyone hyped up. Oh, hey, here comes the draft. The draft is on the way. Every single one of these superstars are eligible. That was pretty much it. Monday Night Raw, clearly not anything to go back and rewatch. Snooze fest. At the end of the day, they are just biding their time until we get to the draft, which is in a mere 6 days. That was Monday Night Raw. Let's go over to AEW Dynamite. And Dynamite, I don't want to say it was a bad show, but what happened with the TNT title, I already talked about that in the beginning of the show. The TNT title and what's going on with the TNT title really, really left a bad taste in my mouth. I am really fucking sick and tired of seeing the TNT title flop back and forth. Really fucking sick of it. So Jungle Boy Jack Perry kicked off the show, crowd singing his song. Guevara and Darby interrupted, and we actually got a very good promo with all three of these individuals. Darby talked about liking Sammy the most out of all of the pillars, and the crowd actually thinks that he's the least qualified to fight for the world championship. You see, you got to fight on your own. Chris Jericho is holding you back. You can come here and talk to me and Sting. We look at each other as equals. You can come talk it out with me and Sting if you want to. Come talk it out with me and Sting, you and Jericho. Darby then turned over to Jack. He goes, Jungle Boy Jack, or whatever you go by. You want to talk about how you had to work so hard to get to where you are? No, you had to work the least hardest. You were a part of the California clique. It's true. And I was jealous, but when I saw what you were all about, nothing intimidated me. Jack then said, you know, Darby, I see a lot of kids with your face paint here, and I think to myself, if they only knew what you were really like. You're rude to everyone, and you're only here because you didn't make it as a skateboarder, which I actually thought was a great burn right there. And you, Sammy, I'll surprise everyone, and I'll say I actually respect you the most. Because what you see is what you get. You put your body, your life, your future on the line, but you're still a scumbag piece of shit. So Sammy then said, all right, you know what? Let's be real. You hate MJF, but in reality, you're just like MJF. You were both handpicked. Jungle Boy was on the last pay-per-view. I relate to Darby the most. We risk our lives, and we do whatever crazy things to make it, and I have to thank you. You gave me hope, Darby. You were the first pillar to win a title. And then you showed us that we can break whatever glass ceiling they put in front of us. You won the TNT title, and then I won it 3 times over, said Sammy. It's back and forth and back and forth. We've always been in competition with each other, but now it is my turn. It's my turn to go and become world champion, and your turn to sit back and watch. Jack then said, you know what? If anyone's going to become the world champion, it's me, and I'm going to do it for every person that supported me since day one. MJF then came out. This was great. This was fucking great right here. MJF came out, and he was shitting on Pittsburgh. He goes, I don't really expect much from you, Pittsburgh, because after all, you actually think Britt Baker is talented, which I thought was a fucking great one-liner right there. I thought that was fucking hilarious. So MJF then goes, he goes, you know what? I actually just got done speaking with good old TK, and he said that we're going to do a Pillars tournament. One of you gets a bye. And it was Darby Allin because MJF picked Darby's name out of the hat. And you two, Sammy and Jungle Boy, for the first time ever, will go one-on-one. And it's going to be tonight. Good luck beating the shit out of each other. And then MJF goes, Mansory, talking to Mike Mansory. Mansory, go and shut this, turn on my music so that way I can get out of here and I won't have to look at these scumbags anymore. Now, here's the one thing that I'm a little confused by. There's going to be a 4-way. No matter how many times MJF wants to come out here and say, yeah, there's going to be no four-way. No four-way. There's going to be a four-way. If there's no four-way, I'd be dead shocked. There's going to be a four-way. The question is, how are we going to get there? Now, I love what TK's done, but sometimes TK can overcomplicate things, and sometimes TK can... Sometimes he can take detours and go on all these windy roads to get to a very simple solution. I don't really see the need of a fucking Pillars tournament, especially when we all know that in the end, this is all going to result in a four-way. If it doesn't, I'd be shocked. If it doesn't, I'd be shocked. But again, I don't understand why this is being made into a straight one-on-one match with MJF. I don't think it will be. I think that somehow, some way, all three of them are going to put themselves in that match at Double or Nothing. I just hate the fact that sometimes we need to overcomplicate shit. I like simple. Simple is the best. Simple is usually the best route to go. Ruby Soho and Toni Storm, they took on Jamie Hayter and Britt Baker, and this was a great match. There's really been no storyline progression, but look, this was a great match. I cannot deny that. It was very, very good. We had a double suplex by Hayter. Storm tried to wear down Jamie Hayter. We had a hip attack. Britt Baker was taken out. Coming back from commercial, Jamie Hayter finally got the tag. Crowd went nuts. And Britt Baker delivered a sling blade to Toni Storm. Super kick, swinging neck breaker on Soho. Storm came back with a German suplex. And then Britt Baker, she delivered an air raid crash. That got a 2. We had a double team by Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter. We had a hip attack by Storm. Saraya then hit Baker with the championship belt. And then Storm delivered Storm Zero. Storm delivered Storm Zero. And then Britt Baker was able to kick out. Storm then sent Hayter into the steps. Soho went down. Britt delivered the Pittsburgh Sunrise. Soho kicked out. Stomp by Baker. Soho kicked out again. We had a lockjaw, and Soho ended up tapping out. And it looks like Britt Baker, once again, silences the Outcast. Not really sure where we're going, but after a match like that, I think it's pretty fucking vital that we get Athena in there, we get Sheeta in there, we get fucking Thunder Rosa back in there, we get Naomi or Mercedes in there. We need some actual fucking progression. We need some progression. But it was a great match. It was a great match. The Elite came out to address the fans. Kenny Omega, he said that this has been some of the hardest weeks of my life. The Blackpool Combat Club were 4 of the most respected wrestlers on the planet, at least until you made my friends bleed. And you know what? I really wish I would have put that screwdriver in your face, Jon Moxley. So you know what? Blackpool Combat Club, come on out here and let's squash the beef like men. I saw that as a little dig to Mr. Phil Brooks right there. Brian then came up on the screen and called them amateurs. Amateurs. Just like every single person in the IWC not named DJ Storms. They are amateurs. So BCC then attacked. It was an all-out brawl. They were brawling in the crowd, flying everywhere, no control at all. Yuta then hit Matt Jackson in his partially torn bicep with the Ring of Honor World Championship. We had hammer and anvil elbows. Claudio with a beautiful, fucking gorgeous gut-wrench powerbomb. Fucking loved what he did right there. Gut-wrench powerbomb. Nick was out. Death Rider on Omega. Brian then came out and continued to call them amateurs. He goes, I thought you were a professional, Kenny. Don Callis then came out and he ran out there. He hesitated. Brian then got a screwdriver before Don Callis came running out with the Japanese sensation Konosuke Takeshita. He went right after the Blackpool Combat Club and hit a beautiful Blue Thunder bomb on Wheeler Yuta, and Don Callis raised Kenny and Takeshita's hand. And you know what? For however long Takeshita is involved in this, because I know for a fact that Hangman's coming back. Maybe we see Takeshita, Hangman, and the Elite take on the Blackpool Combat Club and a fifth member. I don't know who that fifth member is. Maybe it could be CM Punk. Maybe all the reports of Kenny not wanting to squash things out with CM Punk, maybe it was all bullshit. Maybe CM Punk is in blood and guts. Who knows? It's going to be very, very interesting, but Takeshita is now being pushed to the top. He's being pushed in the main event scene. I like it. It's a great move by Tony Khan, and it's going to gain more star power for Takeshita. It's great. Konosuke Takeshita is going to be on the list of new stars to be created in AEW this year. I love it. I'll tell you something that I didn't love. Powerhouse Hobbs versus Wardlow for the TNT Championship. Not because it was a bad match. It was a very good match. Very good match. But I mean, holy shit. How many fucking times do we need the TNT title to be flipped, flopped, and flopped, and up and down, and hither and yon? How many fucking times do we need to suffer through the same repetitive bullshit with the TNT Championship? Put it on one man and have him hold it for an extended period of time. It can't be that hard. Every other championship has a contender that's holding it for an extended period of time. Why not the TNT title? But this was a very good match, nevertheless. Powerhouse Hobbs and Wardlow, they worked very well together. We had a beautiful swanton bomb by Wardlow. He mounted a comeback with a big lariat and a nice German suplex. Harley then got involved. QT Marshall hit a diamond cutter. Hobbs hit a spine buster. Wardlow kicked out. QT and Arn Anderson then got involved, and this actually received the biggest pop of the entire fucking match. Arn Anderson pulled out his fake Glock. He pulled out the imaginary Glock. Crowd fucking popped big. And then QT Marshall went running before Penta El Cero Miedo came out of nowhere, super kicked the shit out of him. Wardlow was down. Arn hit a DDT on QT. Hobbs tried to steal it. Wardlow delivered 3 power bombs, and Wardlow wins the TNT Championship for a third time. Listen, it was fun, but I'm fucking sick of this shit. Hobbs should have easily held the title going into the fall. Wardlow, I'm not sure where Wardlow's going to go from here, but I think Wardlow has really seen his day with the TNT title. If anything, put Wardlow in Ring of Honor. Have him fight some people down in Ring of Honor. You could easily put Wardlow on Ring of Honor and have Wardlow go up against any of the Ring of Honor champions. You can have him go up against Claudio. You can have him go up against Joe again. You can have him take the Ring of Honor World Television title from Samoa Joe. Why is it that Samoa Joe is getting a lengthy reign with the Ring of Honor World Television Championship, but Wardlow can't get a lengthy reign as the TNT champion? Wardlow should have never fucking lost the championship back at Full Gear. And yes, Christian Cage and Luchasaurus returned. I'm not sure what TK is doing, but you're really going to bring back Luchasaurus to fucking lose to Wardlow? And if Wardlow loses it to Luchasaurus, it's only going to further establish the TNT title as a fucking hot potato championship. Stupid. If Wardlow's going to hold the championship, Wardlow better hold that title into next fucking year. I don't want to see or hear of Wardlow losing that title at least until the fall. At least until fucking Full Gear this year. I do not want to hear of Wardlow losing that championship. It's fucking ridiculous that we cannot establish a solid TNT champion. And you know what? If we get the brand split going, that's probably the best thing that could possibly happen for the TNT championship and those fighting for said championship. We need to establish a solid TNT champion that's going to hold that championship 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 months. Enough of the fucking flip-flopping. Enough. Jay White. Jay White took on Commander. This was a very good match. A very good match. And, you know, Conan, I find it fucking funny. Conan trying to say, oh yeah, Jay White, he's just another good wrestler in a company full of good wrestlers. Night one, and Jay White made Conan look like a fucking retard. You love to see it. You love to see it. Very good match between these two. And Commander, man, I love me some Commander. Commander's been doing some great shit. So Commander, with a triple jump, Matrix-like arm drag, White came back with a gourd buster on the apron to Commander. Coming back from commercial, Sean Spears was actually watching Jay White. I'm actually glad that Sean Spears is back on television. I like Sean Spears. White chopped Commander. We had a handspring arm drag by Commander. Big clothesline by White. White was sent to the floor. Commander with a super kick. We had a tightrope Fosby flop. Unfucking real. Shooting star press. Jay White kicked out. Phoenix splash. White kicked out again. Jay White with a sleeper suplex. And then the Blade Runner. And Jay White wins. Very good match. Robinson and White then attacked Sean Spears, who was sitting at ringside. They brought him into the ring and started attacking him. Ricky Starks then came out to save Sean Spears. So it looks like Ricky Starks is developing a team for himself to take on the Bullet Club Gold. Now, I'm not sure if this has any bearing on it, but apparently El Phantasmo, I believe his contract is coming up with New Japan Pro Wrestling. I believe Phantasmo's a free agent, if I'm not mistaken. And if Phantasmo's a free agent, I mean, if you want to bring Phantasmo in and you want to pair him with Jay White, you got Jay White, you got Robinson, you got Phantasmo, that's Bullet Club Gold. You got Starks and Spears, and then you add someone else into there. I don't know who they're going to add, but if you add someone else into there, I like it. I like that. I think that could work out pretty decently. That could absolutely work out pretty decently. So you know what? If that's the way that they're going to go, I think that could very well lead to some interesting television and some great matches. They do a lot of different matches. But you got Jay White, you got Robinson, you bring in Phantasmo, you got Starks, you got Spears, you add someone else who could benefit from that storyline. I like it. Ultimately, this is all leading to Ricky Starks versus Jay White. This is all leading to Ricky Starks versus Jay White at Double or Nothing, and that's going to be one hell of a fucking match. It's going to be a great match. Chris Jericho and Adam Cole. Probably the best thing on the show to me personally. Jericho and Adam Cole had a face-to-face. Jericho mocked the crowd for loving Adam Cole. Cole said, you know, I studied Chris Jericho, and I was inspired by Jericho, like his catchphrase. Look at my catchphrase. It's Adam Cole, baby. I read your first books, and I wanted to be just like Jericho. I want to tell you that I respect you. Jericho then put his hand out and uncharacteristically shook Adam Cole's hand and then just calmly put it back to his side. So uncharacteristic show of what was it? Uncharacteristic show of sportsmanship, I'm guessing. Uncharacteristically gentlemanlike, so to speak. So Jericho then said, you know what, I'm glad that you said that because I want to say that I have absolutely zero respect for you. I think you're an arrogant son of a bitch. You interrupted my celebration to give Keith Lee a handshake. You're lucky I don't slap your dumb face right now. Cole, this was great. This was great right here. Cole called Jericho a jagoff. And he goes, how hypocritical can you be? When was the last time you looked in the mirror and asked who the real Chris Jericho is? I think the real Chris Jericho is an insecure, fickle, stupid idiot. You wanted to confront me. No more games. You got my attention. Now what? So Jericho, this was great. This was great right here. Jericho, in this serious tone, he had his face all scrunched up. He goes, "I am not a jagoff." I don't know how he or Adam Cole kept a straight face on that. I was dying right there. So he goes, "You don't impress me." They always say you never meet your heroes, and that's 100% true. If you're smart, you'll get out of the ring that Jericho built right now. Cole did not do it. We got a brawl before Daniel Garcia came out. Garcia then came out, and we got a brawl. All of a sudden, Britt Baker came out. This was great. Britt Baker came out, and Britt Baker slapped Jericho. Jericho had the Outcasts in his back pocket. The Outcasts came out, and the Outcasts swarmed Baker. Garcia then handcuffed Adam Cole to the rope. Garcia got a kendo stick. Cole dared Jericho to hit him, but instead, Jericho gave the kendo stick to Saraya. And Saraya whipped the shit out of Britt Baker with the kendo stick as Adam Cole watched. That was awesome. That was fucking awesome. Excellent, 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 excellent. And you know what? This is going to be a great fucking match. Great match. And Chris Jericho, he actually gave us a little bit more storyline progression with the Outcasts and Britt Baker. Jericho is brilliant. Jericho is awesome. JAS versus Daddy Ass and the Acclaimed. Nothing match whatsoever. In and out. The Acclaimed won with the mic drop. If anything, I think that we should be getting a triple threat match with the Acclaimed, the Guns, and FTR at Double or Nothing. And FTR will retain the championships right then and there. That's what we should be getting. We'll wait and see what happens there. Next week, we actually got Jade Cargill versus Taya Valkyrie for the TBS Championship. And you know what? If I'm booking this, I'm absolutely giving Taya Valkyrie the TBS Championship. Plain and simple. Sammy Guevara and Jungle Boy. 4 Pillars Tournament. Darby Allin, he already received the bye. We got ourselves a great match here with Sammy Guevara and Jungle Boy. Right out of the gate, doing Spanish flies and Hurricane Ranas. Sunset Flip Powerbomb on the apron. Diving Canadian Destroyer, Sammy kicked out. Guevara then with a shooting star press, but he missed. Implant DDT by Guevara for a 2. Poison Rana by Jack Perry. Poison Rana by Sammy. Back and forth we go. Snare trap locked in. Sammy got to the ropes. Both men went up top. Jack Perry was drop kicked off the top into the timekeeper's table by Sammy Guevara. Sammy caused a distraction. And out of nowhere, behind the referee, MJF hit Jungle Boy with the ring. He hit Jungle Boy with the ring, and Sammy wins via countout because Sammy and MJF, they made a deal in the back, and Sammy will fight Darby next week, and the winner will fight MJF at Double or Nothing. Now, I do believe that in some way, shape, or form, Sammy's going to make his way into the match at Double or Nothing. I think Darby's going to win next week. And Sammy said, you know what? I will help you, Max. I will help you take out Darby if you let me into the match, and then we can fight it out for the AEW World Championship. That's how I think Sammy's getting into the match. Now, Jack Perry, I don't know how Jack's going to get into the match. Now, I have a theory on how they're going to do this. If you guys remember a couple weeks ago when Jack and MJF cut a promo on each other, Jack Perry said, I remember you telling me that nice guys finish last. So you know what? I actually have some type of weird feeling that we could end up getting Jack Perry attacking Max. He's going to handcuff him to the ring, or he's going to lock him in the snare trap, and he's going to say, you're going to find out just how nice I am, because I'm going to lock you in the snare trap, or I'm going to whip you with a kendo stick over and over again until you agree to allow me into the match at Double or Nothing. That's how I see it playing out. I'm not sure how he gets in, but there's no way they're not doing a 4-way. There's no way they're not doing a four. They'd be idiotic to not do a four-way. They have to. They have to do a four-way. Some questionable decisions. Not a bad show, but very, 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 very questionable in terms of the TNT Championship, how they're going about these four pillars, this four pillars tournament. Not sure how they're going to play this out, but, we'll see. We'll see. I'm just not feeling it right now. Not feeling it, and after what happened with the TNT Championship, it really just left a sour taste in my mouth. Really did. That was AEW Dynamite. That was Dynamite. We are going to get into SmackDown. SmackDown this week. It had some decent wrestling, but ultimately nothing to jump for joy about, nothing to really go back and rewatch. SmackDown was just kind of there. At this rate, they are still coasting into the draft. And to be quite honest with you, I'm not sure how exactly things are going to work out going into the draft. And I'm still very skeptical because at the end of the day, Vince McMahon is indeed booking the draft. I don't care what anyone says. Vince is booking the draft. He's going to have a say in the draft. And ultimately, it could very well determine how the draft is going to go forth and what's going to be seen on television going forth into the summer and fall months. So SmackDown started off with Rey Mysterio and Santos Escobar versus the Judgment Day. This was Finn Balor and Damian Priest. Solid match. Really nothing too crazy. This was pretty much a rematch. It was a good match, but it was a rematch. So we had Escobar. He was on the defense. He was on the defense early on because Escobar was taken out by Finn Balor. Tagged to Rey Mysterio. He lit up Balor with a springboard crossbody for a 2. We then had a 619 to Balor. Splash by Escobar. Priest was the legal man, though. Priest delivered South of Heaven, and the Judgment Day get the win. Really nothing more but some storyline advancement. We are leading towards a 6-man tag. It is going to be Escobar, Rey, and Bad Bunny versus the Judgment Day at Backlash. Karrion Kross cut a very good promo on Shinsuke Nakamura, and he said that he's going to take away Shinsuke Nakamura's honor. I like it. I actually like that. And you know what? I don't know when it's going to take place, but it should be an interesting match. Could take place at Backlash. Braun Strowman and Ricochet versus the Viking Raiders. This was actually a very fun match. And Braun Strowman and Ricochet, I didn't think that it was going to gel as well as it did, but Braun Strowman and Ricochet, they actually make a very fun tag team. And Braun Strowman may very well be the most successful Triple H return. Ever since Triple H brought Braun Strowman back, Braun Strowman has really, really, really been entertaining. We've been getting some great matches with Braun Strowman. He's been booked very nicely. He hasn't been taking any unnecessary losses. I think there's only 2 people that have pinned Braun Strowman since his return. It was Ricochet, which led him to become a tag team, and then it was Gunther. That's it. That's all. So Ricochet with a cartwheel backflip moonsault. Coming back from commercial, Braun got the tag. We had the Strowman Express on the move. Tag to Ivar. Eric hit a knee on Strowman. Ivar with the diving splash. Strowman kicked out. We had a double shoulder tackle by Strowman. Tag to Ricochet. Spin kick by Ivar. V-trigger by Ricochet. Tag to Strowman. Eric was down. Strowman had Ricochet on his shoulders. We had a huge swanton bomb off of Braun Strowman's shoulders by Ricochet. And Braun and Ricochet get the win. Not really sure where they go from here. If you're asking me, maybe they could be number 1 contenders for Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. I wouldn't mind that. We'll see what happens. But Braun Strowman and Ricochet did not mind it whatsoever. Very fun match. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez versus Sonya Deville, Chelsea Green, women's tag team titles. Who gives a fuck? Nobody gives a fuck because women's wrestling is dead. No one gives a fuck about the women's tag team titles either. Corey Graves actually made a very good point. Corey Graves, I believe, was being interviewed, and he said, the women's tag team titles never really caught fire. They never really caught fire. And he's right. They never did. So if the women's tag team titles never caught fire, how could they be a success? They can't. Can't. That's just how it is. That is just how it is. So you know what? If Corey Graves is coming out here and saying it, and he's pretty much developed himself to be a WWE shill, I think that it's about time that we get rid of the women's tag team titles. Really, I hope so. Xavier Woods and Gunther. This was for the Intercontinental Championship, and they had a very fun match. Xavier Woods, I think Xavier Woods, to me, is the best member of the New Day. And you know what? If this is what we're going to get with Xavier Woods going forward, I think Xavier Woods should be singles from here on out. Now, there's been a rumored report going around that when Kofi and Big E get healthy, there's a report going around that they want to do a New Day versus Imperium feud with the centerpiece of the feud being Big E and Gunther. And if they want to do that, I have absolutely no issue with that at all. I think that would be a phenomenal move. I think that would be great. You want to do that? Yeah, abso-fucking-lutely. Give me that. Big E and Gunther, and it'll fit right into Big E. Big meaty men slapping meat. There you go. But Woods took over with a wrecking ball drop kick and a beautiful diving leg drop. Beautiful height on it. Great near fall on Gunther. Woods then with a wheelbarrow facebuster and a crucifix bomb. Gunther kicked out. Gunther locked in a sleeper, and Woods tried to scramble, but Woods ended up passing out. And Gunther, right now, to me, is continuing his reign as the greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time. Gunther is fucking awesome. Gunther's fucking great. Matt Riddle, Solo Sikoa. No disqualification match. This was another very fun outing for these two. Riddle went right on the attack. And you know what we've been getting, and this is one thing that I know is being operated in full by Triple H, and I've been loving this. We have been getting serious Matt Riddle. Not joking Matt Riddle, not marijuana jokes Matt Riddle. We've been getting serious, focused, determined Matt Riddle. I'm going to beat the shit out of Solo Sikoa Matt Riddle because he cost me 4 months of my career. That is the Matt Riddle that we need. That is what I'm liking. So Riddle and Solo, they brawled right out of the gate. We had Riddle and Solo hitting each other with some kendo sticks. Solo, coming back from commercial, hit a very nice Samoan drop. On Riddle. Riddle kicked out. Riddle then hit Solo with some kendo sticks and a final flash knee strike with the steel chair. That was very well done. But Solo ended up kicking out. We then had an exploder suplex by Riddle on the chairs. Solo kicked out again. Riddle then buried Solo underneath the table before the Usos came out. Riddle tried to fight off the Usos, delivering a floating bro to the Usos on the floor. Solo came out of the rubble, hit a Uranagi on the apron. Riddle got caught with the spike, and Solo wins what was a very good match. And at the end of it all, Sami and Owens were not there. 1D through the table, Matt Riddle was out. And once again, the Usos and Solo Sikoa continued to look strong. And I do believe that they are all being built up because they're going to take 2 major back-to-back losses. They're going to take a loss next week to Sami and Owens in the tag title rematch, and they're going to take a loss at Backlash in the 6-man tag team match against Riddle, Zayn, and Owens. And that could very well be the start of Roman Reigns really starting to lose his patience with the entirety of the bloodline. And I do believe that that could very well be the beginning of the end for the bloodline. Really nothing else going on SmackDown outside of the norm. Kind of a down week for professional wrestling. Not too many storylines advanced, specifically in WWE. But nevertheless, we are on the road towards the draft. The draft is next Friday, and I will be covering it as per usual. I hope that you guys had a wonderful, wonderful time, and I hope that my laptop is running smoothly once again. We are kicking ass like we normally do. We're kicking ass like we normally do, and we are the absolute best of the best. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you to Lisa, Dee, Dylan, Shooter, Peanuts, Final Hoss, Raphael. We got plenty of shit going down next month. So much shit going down next month. It is going to be absolutely fucking electric. The DJ Storms brand, after a couple of technical hiccups, finally back on the right track. It is going to be good, and we're going to have a fun-ass time. And, of course, Lisa's going to say it early, because who runs the IWC? Everybody's got to say it. Everybody's got to say it. Lisa already said it, but I'm going to tell you guys anyway. Everyone should know who runs the IWC. It is who but DJ motherfucking Storms. And don't you dare forget it.
'Cause we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution.